All right, let's talk about something I think a lot of us feel, being stuck in that 9 to 5 grind. Well, today, we're going to unpack a playbook called No More 9 to 5. It's basically a step-by-step guide to creating and selling your own digital products, and honestly, it could be the very map you need to find a totally new kind of freedom. I mean, this is the big promise, right? This is the dream. Think about it. You create something one time, and then you can sell it over and over and over again. We're talking 24/7, 365 days a year. There's no inventory to manage, no boxes to ship, just the potential for pure passive income. That's the key that unlocks the whole dream lifestyle. And this right here, this is what that freedom can actually look like. Now, let's be clear, this isn't some get-rich-quick thing. It's about fundamentally redesigning your life. The playbook says it best. The idea of making money while you're asleep, or out with your family, or traveling, I mean, that's not just cool, that is absolutely life-changing. Okay, so how do we actually get from this cozy dream to, reality? Well, the playbook makes a really strong point here. Before you even think about what product you're going to sell or how you're going to market it, you have to build a solid foundation. And that foundation, it all starts with your personal why. So this is the big question you've got to ask yourself right from the get-go. And I know, it feels like the kind of step you can just skip over to get to the fun stuff. But trust me on this, knowing your real, deep-down reason for doing this, whether it's wanting financial freedom or more time with your kids or just less stress, that's what's going to keep you in the game. It's your fuel for when things inevitably get a little tough. All right, so you've got your why locked in as your fuel. The very next step is to set a clear target. And look, a goal like making $100,000 a year can feel, well, kind of abstract, right? Almost impossible. But here's the cool part. The playbook shows you exactly how to break that huge number down into something that feels real, tangible, and most importantly, totally achievable. And this is where it all starts to click. That massive goal, it can start with a first-month target of just £2,000. Now, if you price your product somewhere around, say, £97, that means you only need to make 20 sales. Just 20. All of a sudden, that massive dream doesn't seem so out of reach anymore, does it? Okay, we have a clear, manageable target. Now it's time for the fun, creative part, actually building the thing you're going to sell. So let's walk through this journey, from that first little spark of an idea all the way to a finished, sellable digital product. First things first, you can't be everything to everybody. It just doesn't work. The playbook is super clear on this. You have to find your niche. So what does that mean? It means you basically have to become a detective. Your mission is to find a very specific group of people, figure out their single biggest problem or pain point, and then you create the exact solution they've been desperately looking for. Now, that solution you create, it's probably going to fall into one of two buckets. Are you selling a template, what the playbook calls the cookie cutter? This gives your customer a fantastic starting point that they can then customize themselves. Or are you selling a download, the finished pie? This is something that's completely ready to go, right out of the box. Which one you choose really just depends on your own skills and what your specific audience actually needs from you. So, once you've figured out what you're making, you've got to wrap it up in a brand. And a brand is so much more than just a logo. It's the whole vibe, It's the colors you pick, the fonts you use, the overall mood. It's the story you tell that really connects with your people on an emotional level. Okay, let's get super practical for a second. The playbook breaks down how to create the actual product, and it's surprisingly simple, especially with a tool like Canva. You literally just find a template you like, copy and paste your content in, tweak it with your own branding, give it a quick double check, and then download it. And that's it. Boom, you've got a professional-looking digital product ready to sell. So you built it. It's done. Now comes the million-dollar question, right? How much do you charge for it? Pricing can feel like you're just throwing a dart in the dark, but don't worry. The guide gives us a really clear framework for figuring out how to value your creation in a way that makes sense. Generally, you're looking at 3 main pricing tiers. You've got low ticket, which is fantastic for getting a higher volume of sales and just getting new customers in the door. Then there's high ticket, which maximizes how much you make from each sale, but you'll need a smaller, more dedicated customer base. And right there in the middle, you have mid ticket, which is often that perfect sweet spot. The right choice for you? It really just depends on your product and what you're trying to achieve. And hey, don't forget about a little pricing psychology. The playbook has some great tips here. The biggest one, price your product based on the value or the transformation it provides, not on how many hours it took you to make it. That's a huge one. Also, use what's called charm pricing, ending the price with a 7 or a 9, like 37 instead of 40. And most importantly, don't be afraid to experiment. Test out different prices and see what works. Okay, you've got a product, it's branded, it's priced. Now you need a place for people to actually buy it. It's time to open up your digital store. The guide points to 2 really solid options to get you started. First up is Stan Store. This is perfect if you plan on doing most of your marketing on social media because it's an awesome all-in-one shop for your link in bio. Then you've got Etsy. Etsy is a whole different beast. It's a massive marketplace where millions of people are already searching for stuff. It has a built-in audience. Let's zoom in on Etsy for a sec. Setting up a shop is actually pretty straightforward. You just need to pick a memorable name, get your branding sorted out, upload your products, and make your storefront look nice with a banner and a little story. Then you set up your payments, and this part is absolutely crucial. You have to optimize your listings with the right keywords so people can actually find you when they search. All that work, creating the product, mailing down the branding, figuring out the price, it all comes down to this. Your online store is literally your window to the world. So you want to make sure it's inviting, looks professional, and is super easy for your customers to use. All right, the doors are open. The store is live. But how do you get people to actually walk through that digital door? This is the final, critical piece of the puzzle. Marketing. It's time to go find those first customers. And the advice in the playbook here is a game changer. You do not need a massive ad budget to get started. Your most powerful tool, especially at the beginning, is organic, as in free marketing. And right now, the single best way to get fresh eyes on your brand is, without a doubt, Instagram Reels. But for this to really work, your Instagram profile has to be set up like a well-oiled conversion machine. That means having a nice, clear photo of your face. Your bio needs to instantly tell people 3 things: who you are, who you help, and how you help them. And finally, you absolutely need a strong call to action that tells them exactly what you want them to do next. And that call to action, a lot of the time, it'll point to something called a lead magnet or a freebie. This strategy is so important. Basically, you give away something valuable for free, like a cool checklist or a mini guide, in exchange for someone's email address. Why? Because it lets you build your own customer list, and more importantly, it starts building trust because you're leading with generosity. And in everything you do for your marketing, from every reel you post to the words in your bio, please remember this one golden rule. People buy from people they know, like, and trust. So being yourself, your authentic self, that isn't just some fluffy, nice-to-have idea. It's one of your most powerful business assets. It's what builds a real, lasting connection. And there you have it. The product is built, the brand is designed, the price is set, and the marketing plan is ready to roll. All the pieces are on the board. You've basically followed the playbook from that initial dream of passive income all the way to a real, functioning digital business. Your storefront is officially open. The only question left is, what story are you going to tell the world?